What's up, guys? You know what night it is. Friday night, cards and double chocolate cake. Oh, yeah. I'm going back to my old classic from Sweet Lady Jane, my expensive, bougie LA bakery that cost about $20 for this. But here's the thing, man. If you notice, this is a pretty big slice. And the reason I bring that up is because if you have a big appetite and you go to a place like Chipotle or a bakery where there's someone that's counting or like slicing your cake or pouring your beans or something, there's always that time where I look in and I see who is pouring the rice at Chipotle, and I'm hoping it's a big, like a heavy set person, because every time I go and there's like a heavy set girl or guy that is slicing my cake or pouring my beans, they always slice big. And that's what happened today. I got like this really cool dude at Sweet Lady Jane, and he knew that I wanted some big slices. But every time I go and there's like this 90-pound girl, like a little like yoga girl that's fit, they always pour the smallest spoonful of rice at Chipotle or slice the smallest cake because that's what they would eat. So I really lucked out tonight. I got about 2.5 pounds worth of chocolate cake I'm going to devour later. But anyway, this is going to be a special one-on-one live stream, and there's a couple things I want to cover before I say hi to you guys in the comment section. A couple things I want to go over. I'm doing another PSA submission, and I'm in a bit of a dilemma because there is the economy service of PSA that is no longer available. It's been suspended, and that is the service that would be perfect for me because I want these cards back by summer. But it's either do the bulk submission where it probably won't be back till Christmas time, or there is the $50 a card option, which is way too much for the cards I'm sending in. So I'll show you some of the cards I'm sending. And I also want to go over that Mickey Mantle, $5.2 million for a Mickey Mantle card bought by Rob. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Bra? What's his name? Let's see. Rob Gow. Rob Gow, and I'll show that in a second. But if you haven't heard, $5.2 million for this 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. I believe it's PSA 9, and there's 6 of them available. But what does that mean for the hobby? Because that's a lot of money. $5.2 million is a ton. The other thing I want to cover is feedback from my mosaic video I released on Monday. Some people were asking about how Select looks in those charts, so I'll pull those up. Select Premier and Concourse to show you how that adds to the charts versus Mosaic. And let's see what else. I got to show off my boy Thomas down in Costa Rica, his artwork. It's phenomenal. I'll show you guys that in a second. But first, Mike C, what's going on, man? Kenny, I would like to see what you guys think as a hot card. I don't like hot cards. I like cold cards because hot cards I want to sell, cold cards I want to buy. So while I was looking for Deshaun Watson, I wanted to have Deshaun Watson on my radar. This would be a very hot card that I wouldn't touch right now because he's going to be catching up to like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes prices, where I wanted to buy him as like an under the radar guy. So hot cards aren't really my thing just because I want to sell those. Grumpy Card Guy, what's up, DJ? Michael Ham, go Bucks. Al's in the house. Yes, go Bucks right there. Gupreet. Here's the thing. I need to know what is that prism? Is that optic? What is that? And honestly, basketball, I'm learning more about basketball, but football is still my thing, man. I love football so much, and this is going to be such a huge weekend for my Bucks. Dude, SoCal portion size. That's why I can't go to these places unless it's Chipotle, because Chipotle, I always ask for double rice, double beans, and you can do double rice, double beans, and I do taco shells on the side, and it doesn't cost any extra. So that's your Chipotle tip right there. What's up, Caesar? I did do the silver membership, and the 50-day, or the regular service is $50 per card. That's what it showed up as like either I do $12 a card and it takes forever, or I do $50 a card and it's 10 days. But I'll show you the cards I have. But it's one of those things where it's really good for just 3 to 4 months. That's when I need it. I don't need it sooner, and it's not worth going $50 per card. So, what's up, Joseph? Yeah, man, dude, this is the shortest I've had my hair cut in a while, so I'm really happy about it. I'm glad your internet's working well enough right now, Dustin, to hop on. I'm sure it'll be spotty throughout. Here's the thing, man. The postponements with the NBA, I would think that with such little amount of players per team, it would be, I guess it's kind of more dangerous because you only have certain amount of players per team. But like I thought football would be screwed because you have 52 players, and I thought, man, every quarterback's going to get it. Every team is going to be destroyed. You have 52 players all mingling with each other and practicing and really getting in there. I'm not so worried about NBA. I think even if they have to forfeit games or whatever, they're going to grind through the season because they have too much to lose, really. Yo, what's up, Jason? Jason in the house. And dude, yeah, big news for Jacksonville as well, because now we have Urban Meyer heading to Jacksonville. Will they take Trevor Lawrence with the #1 overall pick? Probably. But I've actually been very interested in Gardner Minshew rookie cards because he had a down year. But as I talked to my friend Andy, Fantasy Football Card Quest, he's like, Gardner Minshew is better than his last season indicated. So I'm kind of interpreting it as a potential Baker Mayfield type of situation where Baker didn't look very good last year, and then all of a sudden he looks like a stud this year. And so I'm going, well, hold on a second. Can Gardner be a backup? Will he get traded somewhere else? So if you're looking for if you want to know who I'm buying right now, I'm looking at football more and more in the next couple of weeks, especially when football ends and baseball begins, because with hockey underway, which is number 4 sport, but hockey underway, basketball in the middle of the season or getting there, and then baseball starting, I'm going to look for deals in football, knowing that there's not going to be many headlines around football until the draft. All right, Sam Darnold. Yeah, man. I remember even listening today about, I think on Gary Vee's podcast, talking about Sam Darnold, and sometimes players just have down years. And I think the one thing to think about is with football, you are really dependent on your offensive line, your wide receivers, your tight end, your running back, your coach. You're so dependent on the other pieces around you that an average player on a great team could look way better, could look like a star, while a star player playing for the Jets or playing for Cincinnati or Jacksonville or even Washington, where some of these organizations, it just seems like they always destroy the careers of the players they draft. They could be a better player than what it suggests. So I like those buy low opportunities on backup quarterbacks or starters that really sucked, because Gardner Minshew, even Jameis Winston, I'm like, $40 for a PSA 10 Prizm or a Chrome, it's not going to go less than 40 in my opinion, unless he gets cut. But he's already the backup. So, the next thing is like, are you a starter? And if you're a starter, you'll probably see a spike. If you remain backup, you'll probably stay where you're at and maybe even go up as the season gets closer and closer. But those are some of the players I'm looking for now, but I'll start getting into the starters later on. Yeah, I know, but I mean, it could be worse. It could be like French fries and artificial beef from McDonald's. So I'll take rice and beans relative to everything else. Patreon, I'm guessing that, yeah, not really thought of Patreon. There is a section down here, I think the super chat. I don't know if it's there on these live streams, but anyway, guys, let me show you a couple things. And very cool that you get to go to a card show tomorrow. I wish we could go anywhere here in California, but we can't. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's the artist right there. That is the painter that makes all of Dustin's wonderful artwork in the back of his streams. So anyway, let me talk about a couple things here. If you haven't heard, I'm going to share the screen here. If you haven't heard, let's see. This was the article on the 1952 Mickey Mantle right here, sold for $5.2 million, which is insane. And it was bought by Rob Guh, something like that. And he is the owner of Billionaire Boys Club. And I've seen this stuff at Nordstrom. Definitely not my style. Definitely way too cool and trendy for me. But I thought it was interesting that someone that has a business around collectibles and art went so heavy into it. And I wonder if it's more of just like a business investment where it could kind of propel his own types of collectibles, kind of showing that collectibles are legit. But he is the founder of this clothing brand, very trendy, very much with the, I guess the flippers, kind of like the flipper scene. I'm more of a Banana Republic kind of guy, so this is way too ballsy for me. And then the other thing too I wanted to show you guys is this is Costa Rica card collector. You may have seen him here on in the community, and this is his artwork, man. Very cool stuff. So I'm actually working with Thomas to make a design for me as well, but he wants to turn this into his business where he could do custom artwork on sports cards. So I wanted to show you guys that. And before I head back to the comments section, if you guys saw the mosaic video where I kind of went over the pros and cons of mosaic, I wanted to show you guys what this all compares to when I add select to the equation. And you see here, select is premier level is this golden color right here, and concourse is the orange, but you see mosaic is blue, and it's just been at the bottom there. I want to see if I can make this price change percentage. This is the bigger one that I want to show you, and this is Zion. So you see when mosaic came out, everything's at 0%, but as time has gone on, you see orange, which is select concourse, has gained the most. I'm going to move that cursor, but look on the right. The orange one has gained the most in terms of percentage. The second highest one is Premier. And if you look at the print runs, 424 and 1608. And then you look at Prizm, 14,000, which is insane. But even Prizm here is up, right? And the only one below that black line, that's 0, is Mosaic. So either Mosaic just started off way too hot or it's undervalued. But the point is that that's the only one that has gone down. And Optic is hovering from the starting point, 5.5%. So it's hovering right there. But it looks like both selects, and I didn't include, was that courtside, have really taken off. And if I go over to Ja Morant, similar here, you see that in this one, Prizm is green, and that's the highest in price. And you have almost a three-way tie here for purple, which is Optic, select Premier, and then select Concourse, and Mosaic's right there at the bottom, right? So in terms of percentage, it's this is the percentage growth. And you see here, just read those numbers. Prizm's up almost 300%, Optics up 114%, Concourse is up 85%, sorry, and then Mosaic is only up 12%. And that's from the starting price. So it could just mean that it started off way too hot. But some people asked about that, so I wanted to bring it up. All right. Oh, should have hid that. Dude, that's so funny, man. Just finding the cards is like the fun. It's like if you're able to find retail, that's basically like opening the pack because you found the treasure. Now you actually have to open the treasure to see if it's treasure or trash. But I've not found retail, but I haven't really looked. Happy Saturday. It's Friday night here, but what's up, Ben? I know you're on the other side of the world. Let's see. Here's the thing with Dak Prescott. He's one of my targets. I've been picking up some of his cards. And in fact, one of the cards I wanted to submit to grading, and this would be more of like a low-key card, is his second-year silver Prizm. Sorry, the focus is horrible on this thing. But second year, and this was about $7 or $8 on Comp C. But with how expensive the Prizm rookies are going for Dak and all these other guys, a second-year silver for under $10 of someone that I believe will be relevant and good for years to come, I'm all for. It just boils down to what service do I select, because I'm not going to pay $50 or $30 to grade that card, especially if it's going to come back a 9 or an 8. So that's where it comes down to, all right, if I send it in and I say, look, a year. It would suck if it takes a year, but it's a year. At least it's Dak Prescott. Even if he has a horrible season, another injury, or just performs poorly, I believe he will be a starter next year, right? If like not just next season, but the season after. And that's where the whole doing the math of how long it's going to take, how much money can you make, all that kind of stuff really plays into it. Yeah. Oh, dude. And Ryan, I see that too, man. I bought some baseball cards a few months ago and I wanted to buy more. And it's not because I follow baseball too much. It's that I just wanted to buy something low. And this was after basketball had started to go up. So for me, I was looking at baseball and soccer just out of looking at the charts and going, man, this is low. Football is still on the rise. Basketball is going up. and baseball has really started to spike already. But I was able to get a couple cards. I'll reveal that in a mail week video coming up. And I saw someone here talk about Bitcoin. Let's see, what's up, Mike? Yeah, honestly, man, like some of that worries me. And if you guys haven't heard of NBA Hot Shot, Dustin and I were talking about it, and Vegas Finds was talking about it as well, and how the prices have really gone up. And that is a blockchain. So that's blockchain where you actually, instead of buying physical sports cards, you're buying a moment of a player, like Luka Doncic making a layup or Steph Curry hitting a three, and you can own the moment, and it's numbered to 99 or whatever else. And I still can't wrap my head around it, because it's like has aspects of sports cards, but it's still so different that I can't tell if people are really going in and believing that this is a great thing long term, or if it's more just, hey, this is a trend, there's going to be a lot of coverage on it, let me buy in now and just flip in a couple months. I have no idea. I'm not going to really get into it just because I don't understand it, but it's fascinating. So if you guys haven't heard of NBA Hot Shots, definitely take a look at it. I think Vegas Finds has a couple videos on it as well, but it's too young and cool for me, right? I like more of the classic stuff. What's up, JJ? Dude, yeah, that's the interesting thing, man. I don't know the future of Sam Darnold. It is, man, it's just like, dude, if you're on the Jets, the Redskins, the Jaguars, the Bengals, there's certain teams like Bengals, they lucked out with Joe Burrow, but just certain organizations where you're like, I just don't know. I think like, I just don't know if your career will be ruined from playing on that team. Dude, this is a good question, because I know a lot of you guys have thought about starting a YouTube channel. Best way to grow a YouTube channel is to, in my opinion, learn how to craft content for YouTube viewers. And the number one resource I can give, and I would just listen to their podcast, watch all their videos, it's video creators. And I took a course from them. I've taken private one-on-one lessons and stuff with them. But to me, it's more about why you, right? Why you versus anyone else. You can be a breaker, you can talk about content, but you have to set yourself apart in a way that's authentic to you and really say, like, this is what this community is about. And if you're a breaker, there's a lot of people breaking cards. So the question is, why you? What is special about you? Is it your personality? Is it your knowledge on a sport? Is it something else? But I would really go heavy into that. So, but video creators, it's just awesome. Bundles. I'm not even sure what a bundle is. I don't know, like rephrase that. I'll look for your comment if you're talking about bundles. I mean, like a lot. If you're talking about a lot, I don't really buy lots, but there are some good deals on lots on eBay if you know what cards you're looking for. I would just look for, I did a video of what sports cards to buy, like a very basic stuff, basic intro video. So I'd look at that and then just learn as much as you can for 3 weeks straight without dropping a penny, because the way I see it is that it's going to be too emotional driven at first. And if you can go 3 weeks without buying, I think that'll help you a lot. All right, what do we got here? Darien Ford, dude, hockey is back. I'm going to put your comment up there. And I don't know when Kobe's documentary drops. I don't know, man. But Kobe, dude, I think I saw he's like the second most collectible player. He was like the second most liked player. Kobe will never go out of fashion. Yo, dude, so many Aussies in the house, man. It's so cool. That's, dude, I love Australian culture, man. All right, let's see here. Oh shit! I hope you guys could y'all not see the screen that whole time? I hope y'all could see the screen. Shit. Okay, hold on. Let me know again. I'm gonna go back to the bottom here, and let me know if you didn't see the screen. I'll show it to you. Darien, I'm very excited for hockey. Last I checked, I want to see here. My Lightning were up. They destroyed the Blackhawks, and I sold a couple cards. Now they're only up 3-2 on the Blackhawks. But dude, very excited for hockey. I think it's such an underrated sport. Okay, if you guys did not see the charts, I'm going to show it one more time just because I'm super behind on this. So hold on one second. This is what I wanted to show you if you all didn't see it. Let's see here. Application window. Entire screen. Okay, let's try this. All right. This was Zion right here. And if you take a look, everything at the left is 0. So that means if it's the starting price is 0%, where has it gone since that starting price? And then at the end, you see the most recent sales. Orange and gold are the two selects. And that just means that from where it started, it has gained the most in percentage, while mosaic right here in blue is the only one that is below that black line, which means from the starting price, it has actually gone down in value. So you see here, minus 10.6%. That is Zion. Yeah, sorry for screwing that up earlier if I didn't show it to you. And this is Ja Morant, and you see here, Prizm has gone up a total of 290%. And then where is it at? The blue at the bottom is mosaic. It's up 12%, probably because he came on a bit later and Zion had a lot more hype than Ja Morant. But I'll go back and I don't know if I showed you Costa Rica card collector. That's his artwork right there. So that is Ronald Acuna Jr. that he painted. And he wants to make a full-time living doing this. And he doesn't need too much living in Costa Rica. His bills are low. Dollar goes far there, but he expressed how much he'd love to do this type of artwork and draw sports cards and different art and sell it. So I'm trying to help him do that, and we're working on a design together. All right. Hopefully y'all saw that. There we go. Okay. In terms of, dude, I think I asked Andy this. Jimmy Garoppolo, not much of an opinion, more like if I can get it very low, if I can get his cards very low, I will. I think Derek Carr interests me more. Derek Carr is more of that, like, you're in the range of a higher caliber quarterback. So I would go with Derek Carr over Garoppolo. But here's the thing, man. At a certain price, I'll go with pretty much anyone, because if the prices are borderline free or like, you know, PSA 10 for $50, to me, I'll grab a couple, because very little has to go right for that to double in price. But if that same card is $350, then I'd put my money elsewhere. In terms of, yeah, someone answer Manuel's question here, because I'm not into baseball. I know Tatis Jr. is a top baseball player. It is out of 99. But I don't know too much about what he's expected to do this year to know. I don't know, man. Dude, there's a Garden Grove show? I don't even know. If that's in California, I need to look that up, because that would be great. Yeah, I'd love to. Keep the tea. So we got a question. We got an answer right here for you. Okay, this is a good question, because I love using CompC, but it doesn't show all the information on those graphs. How do you read their sales data graphs? Doesn't give me much information. So the CompC sales, so I'll go in and just show you what I look at. And in fact, this will be a good segue, because I'll show you one of the cards I am sending in to be submitted, and I'll reveal this later. But if I sign in here, hold on a second, I'll share the screen. I'm going to remember this time. Share screen. Entire window. Boom, there we go. It's like Inception. All right, so this is a card that I've bought several of, and I'll show you how I read the graphs to help me determine if I should buy the card or not. And so this card right here is an Anthony Davis second-year Prizm card, and that one's really cheap. It's in crappy condition, so that's why. But if you take a look here, what I would do is I would click on this chart, but you could also see a bit on the top left. Making sure, hold on a second. Am I sharing this? Okay, good. So I'll look here, and when I see 410 and I see, all right, 171 has sold in the last quarter, that tells me, all right, it's a pretty liquid card. And the only way to know that is to compare this versus other cards. And when you see that, all right, only 25 have sold somewhere else, then or another card has only sold 25 of in that quarter, and this has sold 171, then I think, all right, this is liquid. His rookie card in Prizm is $500 raw, I don't know, $400 raw, and then up to actually probably more than that, probably like $800 raw. So I know this is a good option. Then what I do is I click here, and I want to know not only, look at this again, but really know at what price did this peak at. And so if I see here, 206 have sold up to $62, and the best sale was in September. And I know, okay, that has peaked at $62. If I can get some at 20, 25, maybe $30, and I really believe in the card, I'll do it. And if you take a look here on the bottom right, I got a couple for about $20. And to me, a second year Anthony Davis at $20 with that $60 high a couple months ago, knowing that his career is going to, he's established enough so that if it doesn't work out this year, then we still have the next year, and knowing that 2013, 2014 is a way lower print run, I'm all for that. But it takes a lot of comparing. Like these graphs don't show you too much. So you really have to say, okay, I remember this being high. I remember a lot of sales this quarter. Let me go and compare that to his second year select or first year Court Kings or something else to get a feel for what are people buying. So when I know what is liquid, I know, all right, when that is low, I want to buy it, because when it goes up in price, I want to be able to sell rather than have this card that is not too easy to let go of. All right, hopefully that helps. Dude, I could imagine a lot of things going on, a lot of movements. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen with New England. I was buying a couple Jared Stidham cards because his PSA 10s are about $40. And I'm like, well, look, I can't say he's good, but I can't say he sucks when every quarterback in New England has sucked for the last year. And Tom Brady looked like his career worst last season. So maybe Jared Stidham just needs a better team, and maybe he's just a good backup quarterback. Maybe that's all he'll be, is a good backup. But for $40 to $45 for a PSA 10, I'll buy a couple. And as long as he doesn't get cut, I think it's a price that will hold its own value. But if he does start, if he does get traded or just named the starter again, that could be an opportunity. But Winston, Minshew, even I bought a couple of, what's his name, Dwayne Haskins PSA 10s because they were $35. And I'm like, look, he's so young that all he needs to do is get signed by a team, even if it's at a backup role, and I bet his cards will go up. So to me, that's more of what interests me until the season's over. And when the season's over, all the Mahomes and Russell Wilsons and Tom Brady's and all the other guys, Kyler Murray, all that will be fair game. But I need those prices to settle a lot more. All right, well, I guess I told you all everything. Yeah, dude. Well, see, that's the thing. Jimmy Garoppolo is not one of those guys where he has such a stacked resume that you think, all right, man, you're due for a great year. I don't think the press or the hype is going to be the same with him as it will be with Dak Prescott and some of the others. So that's why if it's really a low opportunity, if it's like super cheap, I would consider it, but it has to be that cheap. And he's been in the league for a while, but not too impressive of a resume. Dude, here's the thing. I'm all about value. Dude, I go to – this is the biggest splurge I do. If you guys haven't seen, this is the biggest splurge. This is $18. This is $18, which actually pains me to spend that much. But this is my one splurge of a week. Everything else is value because – it's all based on how much you're paying for it. It's not about this player or that player, because if you're paying 3 times the price as the second place guy, as like the next best guy, then I'd go with the next best guy for a third of the price. Okay, so very cool. I'll have to check that out. That'd be really cool to go to. Starsock, I am high on Starsock. And the reason being is because they're doing their best to provide a great platform. I think what they're designing and how they're innovating is great. I would love to see pictures of the cards. I think that's the biggest thing for me is if it's raw cards. The issue I have is if a Starstock A graded or a Starstock A card is supposed to be a PSA 8 to 10, that means that I could be paying $14 for a rookie card that is actually an 8 quality while someone else is paying $14 for a PSA 10 quality. And I want the ability to pick out my card, kind of like Comp C, because at least I know it's up to me to see if there's anything that is visible. So if I send to grading, it doesn't come back at PSA 8 and I'm pissed off. But instead, I could say, you know what, I'm going to take the chance on this individual card. So that's my only concern, is that I got to see what the different grades work out to, because I'd be pissed if I pay $14 and get a PSA 8. Someone else pays $11 for Starsock 8 and gets a PSA 10. All right. Dude, let's see. I was sort of started, but said nope. Yeah, good luck on the grading. I hope you get a 10, and I hope it's hopefully it's quick. I'd have to take a look at the Kobe redemptions because I've seen it once before. Dude, good question. I just don't know. The individual cards in there. Let me know what y'all think if you're familiar with the Kobe redemption packs, but I just don't know that. I would wait for a couple more months, and I'm just going to study the charts. When football plateaus the same way that soccer did and baseball did and basketball did, I'm going to go heavy, but I don't want to go too heavy in football until I see that floor. And I think the floor of football will be when the season's over and baseball starts. And it's, I think baseball, I got to look up the date if it's March or April, but before the draft, before the NFL draft, but when all the attention is basketball and baseball, that's when I really want to go into football. What's up, Brian? Dude, man, all the Aussies can create a group here. We got Tony. He's from Melbourne as well. It's so cool to see people all over the world getting into this. All right, this is a good question here. Hey, thanks for being transparent on the Drew Lock. I didn't have an opinion of him before the season, but we all have some winners and losers. And as long as we can win more than we lose, I think that's a good thing. And as long as we're having fun along the way as well. If I had a Kobe card, for one, the first question I have is it graded or not? Two, is it worth getting graded? And understanding if it's worth getting graded means you got to get one of those fancy magnifying lamps, or you need to go to a card shop and have someone scope it out. But if it doesn't look perfect, then it's probably a PSA 8 or less. If it looks perfect, there's still a 75% chance, 80% chance it's a 9, especially if you're newer and you think perfect is perfect, but then someone with a magnifying lamp says, no, look at this little scratch, look at this little thing. So I'd want to know what Kobe rookie it is, because there's some really high-end ones, there's some really low-end ones. But if it's like a finest, if it's a chrome, if it's something like that, and it's in pristine condition, I would go with grading, but I would want to check it out. Have someone that has done this before check it out, because just send that in and spend either $50 or more, or spend a year if you want to do like the cheap service in bulk, in order to come back, for it to come back a 7 or an 8 would be horrible. So definitely look at that. But another thing you could do is look at that same card on ComC, look what it's selling for raw, look at it on eBay under the completed sales, and look at it raw, and then look at the condition of PSA 8s, 9s, 10s, and see which one looks closest to your card. So at least you have a vague idea as to what it'll grade. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Russell Wilson, I'm going to take more time to get into Russell Wilson. He was the best investment I didn't make last season. I was staring at his card prices, and they were so low compared to Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. And I just stared at it thinking, oh man, yeah, if only, I think this is a good deal, but spending $300 on a card seemed ridiculous to me last year. So going into next season, Russell Wilson will be one of my top targets, just because I like his overall skill. I like his legacy so far. And I still think he has more left in the tank. So it's not like a high risk investment. It's more like, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't have to pan out the whole year. Just if he gets on one of those streaks like he did in the middle of the season, that's all it takes. We only need a 3-game winning streak or something like that in order to see that window of opportunity. But Russell Wilson's one of those guys where if it doesn't pan out next year, I know he'll be around the year after, and I don't believe he would have tapered off in terms of his skill. Someone help out John on this, because I don't know the answer. Baseball is really confusing to me. Dude, this cake, the price it's PSA pricing, but this is a 10, man. That is gem mint right there. A couple little mosaic dimples, if you see, like a couple of those like jack up dimples, but look at that, man. You can't mess with that. There we go. All right, so we got a couple answers there. Oh, man. I honestly don't know, man. I remember hearing it'd be early this year. I don't know on that though. So if you guys know, let us all know. Good point. I would love for them to do that. In fact, I'm going to have a mail day video coming up where I got my first order of Comp C cards. I actually got 97 cards from my account sent to me. And one of the biggest questions I get about Comp C is how do I avoid those 10% fees? And it sucks because there we go. It sucks because, if you're on Comp C and you're buying and selling and you're getting all this money, 10% is going to go to them if you want to cash out. So I'm always thinking of ways in order to minimize that. And the only way to minimize it that I know of is to not have money in your account. And the way to do that is to buy cards and either send them to Starsock if they're active rookies, because if you can buy rookie cards on CompC, send them over to Starsock and sell them there, there's no cash out fee on Starsock. And I think a lot of the cards actually sell for more on Starsock than they do CompC. The other thing is that I would, like they have these auctions on eBay where it's a CompC card that goes through to eBay that you can bid on and you can win. However, if you want to pay for it with your CompC credit, they actually charge more than if you were to just pay with a credit card or PayPal. So it looks like they just build in that 10% fee that way. So that's not a way around it. And the only way I know is buy cards, have them sent to you. So if you buy a lot of cards that you want to get graded, cash out in cards, get them graded, or buy graded cards there. It's just that they don't have many graded cards on CompC. If they're going through auction on eBay, they do, but like it's a challenge for sure. Oh, hell yeah, man. Pressbox. Yeah, dude. Pressbox. I know Pressbox. It's the green building right by the LA Fitness. I know that very well. All right. Oh, okay. So Lee, yeah, man. So I have another video coming out, my mail day, where I'm showing you the graded cards I've gotten. I'll tell you a couple just because you asked. So one of them is, and I've already mentioned this isn't too high end. It's the 2014 Prizm Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo PSA 9. That wasn't much. That was like 120, 130 bucks. Then up from there, I did buy a couple Dak Prescotts. I think I bought one or two Dak Prescotts. And I don't know if the prices are going to get lower, to be honest. And then who else? Okay, so the one guy I bought, which I wanted to wait to tell you guys this, but I might as well. I went in on Klay Thompson, and I went in because his Prizm PSA 10 peaked at $1,500 in August, and then of course the news came with the injury, its second season-ending injury in a row, and then that card dropped to about 525, 550 bucks. And I picked up a couple at $590 each. And since then, they've been around 700, like 680, 700, maybe a bit more. But the one thing with Klay is, remember, he's coming back to Golden State. So that's obviously great because he's going to be with Steph Curry. Second thing is, I don't know if he'll play in the Olympics. I'm very optimistic that Steph Curry will be in the Olympics, but I don't know if Klay wants to be, but it's more just like whatever. But the other thing is that he is mentioned as one of the cast members that makes a cameo in Space Jam. And I remember seeing that there were articles saying Damian Lillard was in there, Anthony Davis. And there was an article that said Damian Lillard said it wasn't a cameo, suggesting that it was an actual part-time role or like a normal role. So I don't know what that's going to do to the card prices, but I know that it should be a pretty big movie. It should be grabbing a lot of headlines. And no matter what, I felt like those were good prices. So I bought a couple of those Klay Thompsons. Damn, man, you're out already, Chris? What the hell? All right, I see some baseball talk. I don't know the answer, but there you go. You're welcome, John. Yeah, you're welcome, John. They got you. Tennis. Dude, here's the thing. I agree. Tennis, I look at the same as golf. Golf is one of those prestigious sports. Tennis is the same thing where you have players that play for, like, I feel like the Venus or the Williams sisters have played since I was like 6 years old. I don't know how that's possible, but tennis, I could see the same thing where there's only a handful of stars that play from 15 years old to 35, 40, I don't know what age, and they're global. They're global icons. You think of Rafael Nadal and Djokovic and Federer, and you're like, dude, none of them are from the U.S., but we all know them in the U.S., and it is a money sport. So if Tiger Woods' card can spike, I think tennis has that same potential. And maybe it's just a good time to get into tennis before everyone else catches on. I just don't really have an interest in it. That's an interesting question for Adam. And yeah, there's a couple of good answers here. Hoops is good to grade considering the low pop. I think if it looks like a 10 and you believe in these players, then yeah, I might as well, because if it's in great shape and you think it's going to be at least a 9, but probably a 10, I don't see the downfall unless you think that Zion, Trey, or Ja are just flashes in the pan, which Trey obviously has enough years under his belt to suggest he's not. But if you think Zion is like nothing too special, he'll be forgotten about by next year, then I'd sell. If you don't think that, then I would submit for grading. But I don't see a downfall in grading cards of players you believe in a year's time. If it looks like a 10, if it looks like it's between an 8 and a 9, I would not, because the amount of time to send that off to grading for it to come back an 8 would just be horrible. Or you pay 40, 50 bucks for that upgraded service, and then you get an 8, and then you're guaranteed to lose money. So that's where I think of it as like, that sucks. Yeah, there we go. Grade the Kobe, grade all hoops of a good rookie. That's it. Awesome, man. I appreciate your support. And I wanted to show you a couple more cards that I was going to send off to grading. And some of them are going to be a bit random. Dude, I got to go in on my Lightning. My Lightning are stacked. I don't know if they have the same motivation as they did last season, because last season was like coming back from the biggest playoff disaster ever. So if you don't follow hockey, the number one team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, broke so many records. They tied the league record for most wins in a regular season, and then got swept in the first round as a number 1 seed. They got swept by the number 8 seed. That was 2 seasons ago. And then last season, they came back. And I just saw the score here. Lightning win 5-2. All right, sweet. So here are a couple cards I wanted to show you. And we'll start with the ones I already did. So the Anthony Davis, I think Anthony Davis, and some of these other guys from the 2012-13 class. Sorry, it's super bright. I got like a big ass light. There we go. I think for 20 bucks, 15 bucks, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, they're in this category. The print runs are way lower in 13 and 14 than they would be now, but their legacy is stacked, or at least it's solid, right? It's a solid legacy. So I don't feel like they're going to go down in value. The big thing I have is I don't know if I should send this off to grading or just sell raw, because Anthony Davis is also going to be in Space Jam. Maybe he's in the Olympics, and maybe the Lakers win it all again. And I don't want this card to be tied up if the card spikes up to 80 or 90 bucks like it did in August last year. Next card, I showed you this already, but I'll go over it. Dak Prescott, second-year silvers. I think any second-year silver of a star player that is established is worth exploring, because if the rookie cards are 500 bucks, 1,000, then a second-year card should be 80 bucks, 100, 120, something like that. I don't know the exact ratio, but I feel like a second-year silver of a star player is just an easy one. This one, okay. Well, speaking of hockey, I actually found this. I got this on CompC for $20. This is Braden Point, my favorite player for the Lightning. I bought these cards for $15 last March and got $15 raw, and we're selling them for about $45 raw on CompC. Bought them graded, about 10 of them graded for 40 to 50 bucks each on eBay back in March. And then when the Lightning entered the playoffs, this guy took off. He just became a star in the playoffs, and I sold those for 190, 170 to 220 bucks a piece. So that was a really good one right there. And then I got a couple more. Oh, dude, this one's sick. This is his autograph, numbered to 1 99. So if you can appreciate rookie year autos, sorry, the glare. I got a big ass halo light, ring light on there. So that's as good as it's going to get, but beautiful card. And then Mike Evans, my receiver for the Bucks. There is dual relic patch, Bowman Sterling, something like that, but really cool card. That's just for myself. And then, okay, this card's cool. If you collected cards in the 90s and you remember 1999 or 1995 Finest, this is a reprint, like a reproduction of it. This is 2015. Sorry, it's blurry. 2015 reprint of 1995. And I thought what they did with the football was super cool. And what I liked is that this is Russell Wilson, but the aqua teal color theme really goes well with the Seahawks jersey. So that's another one I want to send in. Dude, this camera is really annoying me. It's doing this autofocus crap, and it's really pissing me off. All right. Focus on Russell Wilson. There we go. All right, now I got two more left, and I got to brag about this one because I got a great deal on this. This is a Rob Gronkowski refractor rookie card, and the raw rookie cards were going for about $20, but this refractor, someone was selling on Comp C for $30. A refractor rookie card of Gronk. The centering looks great. I think it's going to be a PSA 9, to be honest. The centering is not perfect on the back, but I think a 9 is the goal. I don't see why it'd be an 8. Corners are sharp. So if I can get this in a 9, a $30 refractor rookie card of one of the best tight ends ever, and someone that I believe will have a great postseason or a post-career, I'm good with. And this last card right here, you would never guess who this is. It's not a sports card. It's actually from a TV show. But I love the card, even though this cost me maybe $1 or $2. And this is Homer Simpson. Let's see if I get that clear. Homer Simpson on the couch. And it is something bongo, like Skybox bongo. Let's see if that'll. Damn, come on. There we go. Skybox bongo, something along those lines. But I thought that was a cool card just to have for myself right there. Those are the cards I am going to get graded. Just got to figure out the timing and the service. All right, so let's see here. Purchased cards, purchased from Comp C. They still haven't posted cards yet. I don't know what that means, Shane. You bought them, as in you bought them on the website, or you sent in cards? Because that's what I'm not really understanding. Let me know. And here's the thing with Mosaic basketball and football. The prices are really low compared to the others. I don't know if that means it's being rejected or if it's just a great opportunity. The issue I have is that I don't know about these rookies just yet, because if I knew for sure that Ja Morant or Zion was going to be it, like if I had faith in them, I probably would just buy some mosaics for the long run. For the short term, it's just not looking like people want mosaic before they want Prizm, Optic, or Select. So if you're saying I'm in for Zion and Ja, or Justin Herbert, Tua, Burrow, one of these guys for the next 2 years, 3 years, then mosaic could well be the best option for a low buy low opportunity. But if you're looking to get rid of them soon, I don't think that's the answer. This is interesting. Ian asks, which rookie card would you rather buy for the same price? Okay, so the answer comes down to, do I want to liquidate easily, or do I want something more valuable in the long run based on the player? If I want to liquidate easily, I'm going with the PSA 10. If I wanted something that I believe would gain value 2, 3, 4 years from now, then I better believe in that player, and then I would get the numbered parallel. And it depends on what the number is. Like, is it limited to $9.99 or is it numbered to $149? But to me, the PSA 10s of the base, the PSA 9s of the base are just liquid. So you could play the get out when it spikes, get back in when it softens. The numbered parallel, you're getting a bit less liquid. So short term or long term. I don't know too much about. I don't know what's going to happen with Wentz. I don't think that he's going to stay. But I haven't heard that. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Dude, vintage is great. Vintage is awesome. I'm not interested in vintage personally because I like the activity. I like studying the scores and the trends and what's up and down because that's more of my game. But vintage is easy. That's like there's not too many cards. There's a lot of they're all established players. They have huge legacies, and the people that have the most amount of money, I think, would go to vintage, right? If you're 50 years old, 60 years old, you've made your millions, you've done this, you want to buy the cards that you're most interested in, or they're probably the cards that reminded you of your youth or that you always wanted as a kid. So Dr. J and Larry and Magic, I think those are great. I don't see it going down, especially when you see Mickey Mantle's selling for 5.2 million. The question I always ask myself is, well, if this card's 5.2 million, what does that do to a Michael Jordan rookie card? What does that do to a Mike Trout rookie card or Babe Ruth or LeBron James or any of those guys? Because, you know, when the bar keeps getting raised at this is the standard of the most desirable card ever, if that's what it is, then everything else should follow suit. And I think vintage would be the answer. And the institutional money, I bet, would flock to vintage way faster. Let's see here. Selling prices, pristine. I would put PSA 9 above nice looking card. That's me. I'd like to hear if you guys would do it differently. But besides that, I would do it. And honestly, I've seen some BGS 9.5s where they've actually touched the price of PSA 9, which is scary because that means they're really losing market share and desirability. When I'll look at the charts and I'll say like BGS 9.5 and it'll intersect with a PSA 9. And whoever got that BGS 9.5 got a great deal. But I would still value a PSA 9 higher than a ungraded nice looking card because of how hard it is to get graded. Sportlots. I've heard about this site. I've not checked it out. So I'm gonna have to check out Sportslot, Ryan. For buying cards to send a PSA, the best place to buy cards, I would go with in person for one. Online is tough, but I had good luck with Beckett Marketplace months and months ago. The problem is that Beckett Marketplace was where card shops would list all these cards, and they were selling them for prices that were 2019 prices, which was great because I scooped up a lot of cards that were way underpriced. Beckett is not nearly as good now because they realized how low they were pricing the cards. So now it's really expensive. But I think the biggest thing is if you can't get in person, look on eBay, look for a lot of very clean pictures. And if they're selling graded cards as well, take it as they probably don't think this card's going to grade well. If they're only selling raw cards in their store, then you could take it as, all right, this card actually might be a PSA 9 or 10. But just buying online and hoping it'll be a mint card, it's risky. It's really risky. Packs to open, Jesse, I would go with just Prizm, Optic, Select. With those, I would be hesitant on Mosaic for now, but Prizm, Optic, Select, and then you can go higher end, National Treasures. But like I'm guessing Prizm, Optic, Select are the ones. And I would probably go with Select as the one where I think it'll gain the most traction in 2021. Prizm, I think, will still be number one. Optic, I just don't know about. I don't know if it's slipping or not. Sweet. Congrats. Pull it. All right, this is a great question by Brad. Awesome name, by the way. 2020 Silver Prizm Auto, Justin Herbert. Dude, I mean, the route to take for me is get it graded. I mean, if you just pulled it, I would imagine it's at least a PSA 9. But if you get that thing at 10, I would grade that thing. And you have all off season. So I would send it in. I'd pay the $50 or whatever it is. I'd pay the premium and I would send it in. Another option is to not only send it in, but you can go to a local card shop wherever you are. If you're here in the US, find your nearest one, see if they do the service for you, see if you can go in and show them the card and have them submit. But you should get that graded, man. I mean, like that's a card that if you don't get graded, someone else will, assuming it looks phenomenal. All right, let's see. Yeah, I answered this earlier. Damn, I don't know how long I am back there. How back on comments I am. The Top Shots, it's intriguing. It's blockchain. It is something I just don't understand. It's buying moments like a Luka layup or whatever. I just don't know if collectors say this is something I want for myself. I want to collect these, or if it's mostly flippers saying, let's get in right now and we can just flip and flip and flip. And because sports cards have been around for over 100 years, I know that there is a collector base. Before this giant resurgence, there was a collector base. Blockchain collectibles, I think there's upside, there's potential. I just don't know if it's something that people want long term, or it's just an opportunity to get in and out of. All right, dude, here's the thing. In terms of selling Mahomes, I wouldn't say if he wins. I would say if he goes to the Super Bowl, I would look to sell before. Because if you think about it, think of it this way. When the Lakers won the NBA Finals, LeBron and Anthony Davis's cards actually went down in value after they won, which is crazy. But when you think about it, it makes sense because though their legacy was raised because they won in LA, LeBron added another ring, Anthony Davis got his championship. Where do you go from there? If you buy their cards before they win, the hype is at its highest. If they already win, what's the point? You might as well just buy before the season or buy at some other point. There's nothing after winning that they can go to. So I would say if you think the Chiefs are going to win the next couple games and make it to the Super Bowl, I would look to sell Super Bowl week. Personally, I think that would be the highest, because if they lose, then it's definitely going down. But even if they win, I still think it's going down. And that's just what it's been before. All right. There we go. Brian, what's up, Brian? Dude, this is interesting right here. I'm going to hop off in a bit. I forgot what else I wanted to show you guys, if there's anything else, but there is an announcement I'll make. Okay. I think 2015 Kobe, they were selling for me. So I was buying his 2015 Kobe Prizm. I had a few of them and his Select, and they were selling quite well. I don't know if they're still underpriced or not, but it was something I was thinking of because the last year in the league, 2015 would be a lower print run than 18 and 19 and 20 and whatever else they put out. But it is a special year. It's the last year he played basketball. So I could see it going up more. I just don't know if it's undervalued. I guess it's appropriately valued. I don't know, to be honest. I think it's a good card, though. All right, let's see here. This is a good question. If hype will continue or not. I think here's the thing. At first I was like, you know what? When things go back to normal, people will go on vacations, they will resume their normal life, and all of that will happen. Since so much money is pouring in from the investment side, from the gambling, the fantasy side, all that stuff, I think it will integrate. And the other thing that I thought of is this hobby is exploding with very little human to human or like face-to-face interaction. And what if things go back to normal and now we have a lot more card shows? We have not one national, but we have a second one. We have twice a year, thousands of people get together. Then I think the hobby would grow at the same pace or very similar. But we want the face-to-face stuff. We want to travel. We want to do all that. And when card shows and exhibitions and conventions and all that open up, I think that's where it can keep up with the growth or like be similar. But if it never open, if everything else opened but card shows and events didn't happen, I think it would fail or like at least slow down. But I'm optimistic. I hope so. You the man. You the man. Oh, here we go. Here we go. First fight over cards. Well, you got to post that on peopleofwalmart.com. That's a hell of a site, and that's what it's there for, and it totally makes sense. All right, guys. Couple things. I forgot if there was anything else I wanted to mention, except if you are on my email newsletter, I'm doing another live stream tomorrow morning where I can go into more charts, take my time with you, and there'll only be a couple of us. So if you want access to future live streams that are just going to be for just the newsletter subscribers. It's totally free. Go to thecomebackcardinvestor.com and just sign up on the homepage, and then I will send you guys the links there. But that way I can go into more depth with your questions. I don't have to just rattle it off. And if you want me to look up charts on market movers and give my thoughts, I can do that there, because sometimes I just don't know the players you're talking about, or I don't have the time. But with that being said, I'm going to eat some freaking delicious $18 bougie LA cake. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I will see you next time.